it's Nikki of Nikki's Homemade Crafts, and today we're going to work on part 2 of the Corner to Corner Mystery Crochet Along. Quick reminder, we have 3 different ways to win prizes at the very end. Each of the 3 ways has 3 winners. Way number 1 is 3 winners to just simply sign up for the Mystery Crochet Along. It's free. Just put your email address in and we have a random drawing for those 3 winners, and that will be announced during the party. The second way to win is for 3 winners. Finish the Mystery Crochet Along after part 3. Post your final images into the Facebook group called Crocheting with Nikki by the deadline with the hashtag. And then the last way is simply to join the party in the end and answer some questions. So 3 different ways to win prizes at the end in a value of roughly $30. Some of them higher, some of them lower. You will see. It's a surprise at the end, but yes, there are 9 winners at the end that are going to be announced at the party. Now, let me remind you really quickly, we worked on part 1 and it looks like this. This is part 1. Part 2 is going to expand onto it, and we're going to continue using this yarn right here. At least I am. There's 1.5 skeins that you're going to need for the entire pattern, which is still a mystery, and I'm also using a 4mm crochet hook. Now, the written instructions and the graph for this part will be linked down below. There are 2 different ways to get the pattern, and one would be with ads. It's not printable on my website. The second part is to join the Crochet Club. Yes, we have a trial option there as well, where you just get access to this pattern ad-free. And there's also a monthly, quarterly, and annual option. Here are all the features of the Crochet Club. If you want to take a look, yes, there's a lot of features, and we would love to have you join us in the Crochet Club. 80% of the members are annual members. Oh my gosh, they love it so much. Anyways, let's get right into part 2. Are you ready? Okay, in part 1, you did this much. In part 2, you're going to expand onto it until it looks like this. So my face might be blocking it there partially, but you're pretty much going until 49 rows. Okay, so you're going to expand a little bit longer. You went until about 28 rows right here. So there's just a little bit more to go. And today my biggest focus is on the decrease. So when you're completely decreasing. So there will be a little bit more where you're going to do what you did in part 1, which means on one side you're going to decrease, the other side you're going to increase, depending on where you are. So obviously over here, it will be increases on this direction and then some decreases on this direction if you're going from this corner to this corner. So now, once you have done all the way unto a point like this, okay, so if you hit your next corner, right, you have a corner right here, and that's where your direction changed up here, where for your project it is row 13 is where you change directions from increases to decreases. The next point where you're going to do a direction change, and it will be written down in the pattern, okay, it's right here, meaning when you hit row 37, okay, that's where the direction changes here as well. Okay, you're going to have then from going from increases to decreases. This side at this point is already decreasing, so you're going to now have 2 sides decreasing, and that's what I'm going to focus on today, where you're just doing decreases. So I'm going to show you my little swatch. So we did this so far for part 1, so let's continue that one. And we're going to literally just finish it up. Okay, so we did all the way until here, as you can see it, like my little check marks. Okay, so we're now going to follow this, and then you're going to see from this one we're already decreasing, and you're going to see after this right here until we hit this point we're not increasing anymore. We're then doing decreases as the direction of the arrow changes. You're not going in this direction anymore, we're then going up. Okay, so that's what I'm going to focus on and teaching you today, how to finish this up. Okay, and then we're going to talk about the measurements, because they're very important in the end. You want to have the proper measurements in order to make sure that part 3 will work out. Yes, we have a little bit something to do in part 3, so the mystery will stay alive, but I'm open to hearing some ideas that you believe we might be working on. Okay, so let's focus on this so that way you know exactly how to do this. So we're going to go over here now and doing this pixel right here. Okay, so let me move this up like so. We can follow along. I wrote the information information what increases and decreases mean over here. Okay, so let's do just that. So we have this pixel to go. This arrow matches this arrow, so it's a decrease. Okay, so we already did that decrease. Do you remember we did that in the end of part 1? I showed you. We just did 3 slip stitches. So that's part of the decrease right here. And then we're going to do a chain of 2 or 3, and we're going to do our 3 double crochet stitches right into that chain space. And then once you're finished with that, you're going to do your slip stitch per normal to your neighboring pixel. That way you're connecting them. We finished this one right here. So we're now going to do this one. So that is just a regular box stitch. So chain of 2 or 3. Okay. And then 3 double crochet stitches into the same chain space. Then slip stitch over to the neighboring. And then we do it one more time, okay? Because we have that pixel down here. One more time we have to do it down here. So let's do that. Chain of 2 or 3, and then 3 double crochet stitches right here, like so. And you can count to make sure you have it correctly. If you're not sure, is that still an increase? Is that a decrease now because the direction here changes? So where do I go? Okay, count down here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pixels in my little swatch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pixels right there. Okay, so I did it right. So now I have to start doing my decreases. Okay, so I'm going to check this off, and now we're going to follow this arrow right here. So that means we're not adding another pixel over here. We're now doing the decreases in this direction. So, and what I like to do is for decreases, I flip first, and I'm going to do my slip stitches right here. I like to go into the 2nd double crochet stitch and the 3rd, I guess if you count from the right side here. And I also like to do a slip stitch right into that chain space, okay? Because then that way it's even the same way as I always do. Then chain of 2 or 3, because remember that's what we do for decreases. We do our 3 slip stitches, chain of 2 or 3, and then we do our 3 double crochet stitches, which is always the same, right? And now I'm going to do my slip stitch to the neighboring one right here. And I'm going to lay it out so you can see what we're doing, okay? And then we can check it off. So we just did this one. So you can see we're going in this direction. We're matching this, right? This is here our decrease. We're matching it. So we now did this one. And now this arrow is next. So that's our diagonal arrow, which means we have to do 1 pixel right here. That is done just a regular way. So regular box stitch. So we're going to make a chain of 2 or 3. And make our regular box stitch. So that means 3 double crochet stitches and slip stitch to the neighboring. There we go. And you can see that we're kind of here on that edge, right? So you probably have experienced that for a while now, and you know automatically I cannot be adding more to it over there, otherwise it will mess up with the shape. So you know exactly, and this is kind of how the graph over here looks like. We just did this one. We now have to do a decrease over here, okay? So we're going to do our 3 slip stitches, and we're going to do our chain of 2 or 3. So right here, 3 slip stitches, 1, 2, and 3, chain of 2 or 3, and then 3 double crochet stitches right into it, okay, into that chain space, and slip stitch right here. Now you could be stopping right here, but that doesn't make it a corner to corner. So what I like to do is I flip right here, and I make my 3 slip stitches again, okay? So 1, 2, and 3, and then a slip knot, and you're officially in the corner. So if you lay it out now, you can see we started at this corner, we ended at this corner. So now I can check this off. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Now let's talk about the dimension of this entire piece right here, which I'll show you. So hang tight, let me zoom out so you can see it. All right, I can't be zooming out too far, unfortunately. My space is super tiny. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to measure it exactly so you can see it, okay? So this direction right here is 9 inches, as you can tell right there, 9 inches, okay? Now this entire length right here, I'm going to lay it over and then fold it so you can see it, okay? So I'm going to see how I can fold this in a way that you can see it properly. So I'm going to do it like this, okay? So hold it down, and then move it over so you can see it. It is 27 inches, okay? So what I need you to do is before you start decreasing, okay, meaning where both sides are decreasing, I need you to measure the longest width or the longest length, whatever, okay? That needs to be 27 inches if your width of this side is 9 inches. So here you can see the math, okay? It needs to be 3 times as long. So 9 times 3 is 27. Here's where I said you can do some adjustments. If this width for you is shorter or longer, you need to adjust your pixels, your graph, okay? So that means you're either going to stop increasing earlier, or you have to continue increasing. Whichever is your longest side, you're going to go until you're 3 times your width. Okay, so for me, I went until I had 27. Then I started decreasing all the way. Okay, once I hit 27, that's when I decreased on both sides. So that's what you're going to do too. Measure this width. If yours is 9 inches, then you're going to go in this long direction until 27. If you have 10 inches in this direction, you're going to go until you hit 30, because 3 times 10 is 30. If you have 8 inches in this direction, I'm making up numbers here, 8 times 3 is 24. You're going to go until 24. That is very important. That 1-to-3 ratio has to be there in order to finish part 3 properly. I don't care how many pixels you have. I really don't care. Okay, you do not have to follow the graph exactly if you don't want to, because the most important part is going to be the measurements. You want a 1-to-3 ratio for your entire rectangle. That is part 2 done, okay? This is part 2. And make sure you have your measurements. So please, here's your little instructions that tells me that you finished watching until the end. Leave me down below in the comments your ratio in terms of inches, centimeters, I don't care, okay? Tell me your information. So for me, I would say my 1-to-3 ratio is 9 to 27. That is my answer. What is your answer? Leave it down below in the comments, and that way I know that you finished watching this video till the end, and I will be able to reply to you down there, answer your questions if you have any further questions. Of course, I'm here for you. And don't forget to post your picture into the Facebook group called Crocheting with Nikki with that hashtag that I mentioned, okay? It's very important. That way I can find you and celebrate you. Don't forget to show up at the party, which is happening on Saturday. But before we get there, we still have part 3 to go. So now that you know part 2, okay, you have that scene in front of you. So we have now done part 1 and we have done part 2. It's now time for you to do part 3 tomorrow. So patience, little crochet hoppers. We're getting there. For now, finish your part, and that way you're ready for part 3. Part 3 is the shortest part, so no worries, it won't take you that long. I'm excited to see you there. Until then, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and turn on the bell to get a notification next time I publish a video or go live. I'll see you then. Bye!